Getting caught up on the latest weekend with ISMA and MSS. They were out in Michigan this past weekend, Berlin Raceway, for a couple of shows. They ran on Friday and Saturday, and the big story coming in was Mike Ordway. He had won the past 2 Saturdays, and a matter of fact, he almost won the past 2 Fridays before that, as he had broken when leading both times. So coming in, everybody was probably like, all right, it's going to be a Mike Ordway weekend, and after Friday, it was. He won on Friday, but couldn't get up to the front quick enough, ended up racing up to third place, and I guess it was really close at the line for third as well. So let's over to Windham, Maine. That is about 16 and a half hours away from where they just raced this past weekend. Mike Ordway joins us here. How we doing today, Mike?
Good. How are you, Doug?
Doing very well. So it sounds to me like, well, how close was this to a sweep?
Not very close. Me and Otto were side by side at the line for second. I was probably 2 car lengths behind him down the backstretch, and he started to run out of fuel. So I was able to gain on him quite a bit. And we were side by side at the line for second. But Mike McVedo was quite a ways ahead at that point. He by far had the best car on Saturday night. We were able to start 7th and get to 3rd, and that was decent for what we had. We just didn't adjust on it enough for the feature on Saturday, but we got the one on Friday. So
yeah, so we still got the win and still had a great one. So let's start with Friday. I saw some of the highlights, man. It was a pretty hard crash we started out with on Friday, didn't we?
Yeah, they had we had a pretty good field of cars to start on Friday, and just some unfortunate stuff, mid-pack or whatnot, and a couple guys got caught up, but I think there was 2 of them that didn't get back going for Saturday. So we were pretty fortunate that a lot of guys saved their race cars.
Okay, so where did we restart at that moment after we? Because there was a couple early cautions, right? Yeah,
so originally, technically I started on the pole, I guess. I never led, I think, until lap 3 or 4. Mo Lilgy started outside pole and got a run off a 2 on the first lap, and I rolled up to clear him, and he crossed me over and was able to get to the lead, and then the caution come out originally, and we redid that a couple times, and then Trent Stevens actually got by me, and he got to Mo for the lead, and then while they were racing each other for the lead, I was able to sneak back by him from third, and once we got back to clean air, the car was pretty much spot on from there.
Sounds like we had fun up until that point, though, right? Sounds like it was a good race for the three of you.
The first few laps were pretty exciting, and then the whole thing was fun for me, but
sure.
Yeah, so like I said, we were very fortunate to get back up to the lead and get in the clean air and be able to hang on.
So once we got to the clean air, that was basically it? That was the race right there?
Well, not really. I mean, they had a few more restarts. Mo hung outside of me on a restart for a couple of laps. And then, we had a red flag. Someone lost an engine, and I had actually, when one of the safety truck guys come over to make sure I was in gear, so when they were getting ready to restart, and I asked him, I said, hey, how close was that 32? And he says, well, he was fairly close. So at that point, I thought, and I had kept looking at the board, because once you get by somebody, if, you kind of know how your car is relative to theirs. And I saw on the board that, that Mo was still in second. But I also knew that he had already drove around me at one point. So, I was kind of worried that, that he was still quick and nobody else really on the leaderboard was, moving, to the front. So Mo was kind of the only one I was worried about at that point. But then I guess, we were able to stretch it out pretty good once we went back green after that red flag.
Nice. Okay. So ended up getting the win. And like we said, that could have been 5 in a row had it been the last 2 years. So what were you thinking about now coming into Saturday? I would imagine you were probably feeling pretty good.
Well, not really. I've always lacked quite a bit of self-confidence. The car is is always better than I am. So I still worry that I'm going to screw it up somehow. But, we obviously knew, well, after Friday night, going in, we weren't really sure because it was a brand new race car. We had been struggling with it a little bit at the beginning of this year, and we had a couple okay runs a few weeks ago at Lorraine. We finished 4th and 5th. And then Friday, like I said, the car wasn't the fastest car there. The new Jim Bodner, Rich Reed car was quicker than us in time trials both nights. And then, once the race was over Friday night, I felt we had another decent shot at winning on Saturday. A lot of guys picked up speed on Saturday, gained on us quite a bit. But, I was still confident that, if we could get to the front, we'd have something for them. And we almost got there. We just come up a little bit short.
From reading the quote of yours afterwards, did you misadjust it? Did you just maybe miss a little bit on that? Did you adjust the wrong way? What did you do?
No, we went the right direction. We just didn't seem to go enough. I talked to Clyde after the race Friday night, and we liked the direction that we had gone in. Back to, me feeling, like I'd screw it up. I was confident Saturday morning that the adjustments we made on Friday were going to be enough for an extra 20 laps on Saturday. And, so ultimately we pretty much went with the same thing both nights, and it was good for 40 laps. It just wasn't quite good enough for 60 laps.
Okay. I also read, you guys have been around these cars. I've done a lot of the up-close videos. They have a lot of fuel cells in these cars. You said you were moving some fuel around. What were you doing?
I don't remember saying that.
Yeah, it says, let me see. As halfway the car got tighter, so I was battling it. I moved some fuel just before the last caution, but I knew the 22 was strong.
That was auto.
Oh, that was auto, excuse me. So can they do that? Can you move the fuel around in these cars and change the way they're handling just by doing that?
A lot of those cars you can do that. They have different pumps in different cells, and they can transfer fuel around.
You don't do that, though.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll go with that. I'm fine with that for an answer. So, of course, this weekend we get to show up at Oswego, and really busy stretch. We've got 3 weekends back to back to back.
Yeah, we got Oswego this Friday, which was a rain out from a couple weeks ago, and then like you said, we just came from Berlin, and now we're going to Oswego Friday, and then we got Sandusky next Friday and Saturday. So it's a busy couple days, but we'll be doing some racing, so that's good.
Yeah, and of course Sandusky, that's one everybody looks forward to, the high miler. Do we usually do well out there?
Usually, I've won it 3 times. It's been a couple of years now. I think 2022 was the last time I won it. So we've run okay there. Fairly decent in the past. So we're and like I said, with the new car, we had a couple okay runs at Lorraine, and then we had 2 really good runs this past weekend. So I'm looking forward to getting to Oswego, where we've won a couple in the past couple of years, and then get back to Sandusky, where we've won a few there.
Make sure to go to the site. You're probably watching it right off of that right there. Lots of great pictures up from both the days. Lots of candid photos. Sounds like Berlin was a great weekend for everybody. Like we said, Oswego Speedway, that'll be this Friday night. They'll be sharing the stage with the 350 Supers. And then, of course, the High Miler out in Sandusky is coming up after that. I appreciate you getting back to me. Sorry about that, asking that question, but you handled it well on the fuel moving around. So
that's all right, Doug. We just like to keep them guessing.
That's right, and that is part of the game, let's be honest. So you take care of yourself, and maybe I'll see you Friday night at Oswego.
All right, we'll see you. Thanks.